Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you from the highway once again. Yes, I'm on the road, and it's the evening of 15th February 2020. In 5 days, we're going to have another 2-minute prayer session at 2 p.m. on uh, 02, which is the month. Let's see, on 02 February. No, excuse me. On 20 February 2002. I do things backwards to most people. So let's say 2 February is 20 of February 2020. Most people, right? I do military style. I usually put the day, month, year, but that's not typical for most people. So we'll have another 2-minute prayer session. So I just want to make that known. So what are we talking? An entomologist in Hong Kong who's come out and said that the Wuhan flu, now called COVID-19, formerly known as coronavirus in 20 COVID-19, changing the name on it, right? I hope the sun ain't blinding y'all out here. I'll look at the chat session a little bit. I'm like I said, I'm driving, so I need to keep my attention on the road. I might stop and kind of show y'all where I'm at here in a second. So this might be where it's saying, holy smoke, a vehicle with all y'all will be here. Hang on. I'm in the hills of North Alabama, around the area of Anniston. Behind me, that you can't see because the hill I'm on, is Chiha Mountain, the highest mountain in Alabama, which is about 2,400 feet, 2,400 feet. So it gets better up the road a little bit. But anyway, back on the road here. So the sun don't blind you out here. Sorry about that. 60%, according to the entomologist in Hong Kong, 60% of the globe could become infected with this COVID-19. That's terrible news, my friends. That's terrible news. What that really means is that you have a better chance of becoming infected than not. Better than not. Each and every one of us. The people are looking. Can you see that sundog out there? Look at that, my friends. Can you see the sundog? Ow! I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyway, so think about that. What that means is your best defense is going to be a strong immunity. You really hope to be in that 40%. All right, I lost signal there for a minute. Look at this, guys. Look at this. You'll see all that. All right, let's turn back around here. Back on the road and get ahead of this traffic. All right. So, from the cruise ship and some of the other data, and people from the Princess cruise ship and some other data, some people are estimating that the R0, the infectivity ratio of COVID-19, may be as high as 6.7. That is shocking, my friends. That is extremely shocking. 6.7. China has instigated very draconian actions for containment. There are those who say that is appropriate because they say that's the only way to get the R0 down to an acceptable value, which would be an R0 of 1, in order to extinguish the flame. Well, they have tens of millions of people. Some say well over 100 million people in lockdown. In solid lockdown. I mean, some of these people have their houses barred shut, with bars put over the windows even, doors welded shut. How do you survive like that? That's in the Hubei province, where Wuhan's located. that province is really shut down tight, my friends. So think about it. If they're taking measures that draconian, you would think they could control this. But there are estimates out there that say with those controls in place in that area that the R0 is still 2 to 3. 2 to 3, that's on the order of the Spanish flu, my friends. That's still crazy. It means there are no controls if that's true. If that's true, we're in for a lot of this stuff getting out. Now, it's, you know, some people compare this to the flu. Some of the lower estimates, though, are that it has a fatality rate of something like 1%. If it has a fatality rate of 1%, it is much more than the flu, which has a fatality rate of 0.1% or 0.2%, depending on how you want to look at it. So it looks like it may be 20, maybe 100 times worse than the regular flu in that rate. Some people say it's 2%. Some people are saying estimates are showing it's 5%. The truth of the matter is we don't know. I'm not telling you it is this. I'm not telling you it is that. I'm not saying, Greg Allison is not saying it's this. Greg Allison is not saying it's that. But what Greg Allison is saying is that you need to be aware to prepare. And the best are protective clothing and things you might wear, masks and things like that. But again, you've got to watch the use of these masks. Because if you don't have the proper protocol for pulling that mask off, you're just going to infect yourself. If the mask is flimsy and thin, the virus is just going to grow inside the mask and become even more, you know, prodigious. So, well, of course, it can't reproduce in the mask, but it can certainly survive. Now, a virus has to have the RNA that's still inside your cells in order to replicate. That's what it does. It's a little machine that goes inside your cells and takes over the genetic material from your cells to make copies of itself, and it destroys the cell on its way out. That's how they call cellular death. That's what hurts your health, is you lose a lot of cells, a lot of tissue, and can kill you if it kills enough cells. So that's a bad thing. That's what happens when you're sick with these viruses. Most of these viruses are using RNA, not DNA. But these are all important components to your genetic makeup. RNA is used in mitochondria, things like that, your little energy cells that you use to power your body. The stuff that they kind of changed the name of. I think Star Wars was trying to play on the mitochondria as the aspect for giving you the force. It's definitely an energy source that gives, or not, the force. Anyway, so, Greg, where are we going with all this? I don't know what the latest numbers are. I've been busy all day, but this morning when I last checked early this morning, there was some official fatality rate of 67,091. I believe not fatality rate, the case rate. The so-called confirmed cases were 67,091. The fatalities were in order of 1,527, and the so-called recovered cases were 8,567. I don't put any stock by any of these numbers. We have no clue what the real numbers are, because these numbers mostly come out of communist country, China, and they seem to have an agenda of their own, which may not be an agenda which gives us a lot of support here. So I blocked the sun out. I don't know if that's helping or not. Y'all still there? So, in any event, this is very concerning, my friends, very concerning. I am traveling, and I did go through Atlanta, Georgia. I did not stop in Atlanta because there are 200 people under self-quarantine. There are no confirmed cases in Atlanta. The 200 people that came out of China, not the Hubei province, but they came out of China to the Hartsfield airport there in Atlanta, the busiest airport in the world. I drove right under one of the runways. So I do carry 91% isopropyl alcohol with me, and I use napkins. So even if I pump gas, I wipe down the touch pads, the screen, everything I touch without alcohol, and I touch it with my knuckles. And then I wash my hands with the alcohol after I get done. I use towels going in and out of the store. It's what I tell you. Don't be grabbing things that everybody else grabs. Keep your distance from people. you see anybody sneeze or cough, don't walk through the air fog or wherever they were at. Depending on the size of the projectiles, that stuff might travel as far as 30 feet. Of course, you don't know when you're walking around with somebody had just been sneezing in there, coughing, and you missed it. Sneezes are more propulsive than coughs, though. But either one can really send particles way out. And the smaller droplet sizes, of course, are the ones that stay in the air the longest. And this virus is small enough to definitely stay airborne because it has that high R0 zero. That's what's telling us that. So, my friends, there's other things going on here. It's really strange. I watched a video from Christian Westbrook. He has the Ice Age Farmer channel. You should check his channel out. It's a great channel. Go to it, subscribe to it. One of the things he was talking about is we've all heard of Event 201, but he pointed out there was another event prior to that. 5 years ago, that event, it just so happens that it was funded, that study was funded by our dear friend George Soros. Such a lovely guy who loves us so much. In the Rex sense of the terminology, Rex Bear. Yeah. So he did this study, and he called it the Food Chain Reaction Game. And it was headed up by the Center for American Progress. Yes, Center for American Progress. Sounds great, right? Well, guess who runs that center and who ran that study? Our dear friend Podesta. Oh, yeah. The same Podesta who ran somebody else's presidential campaign. Yes, him. You know, he's such a charming fellow. He's always in the middle of so much muck. What a schmuck. The schmuck from the muck. He's one. Anyway, yeah. So, Mr. Schmuck from the muck ran this study. And that study, just like the 201 event, Event 201, both came to the conclusion that we need global governance to control all these things. Oh yeah, the 2020 exercise was to be triggered by an epidemic. Go figure that. Go figure that. So we've got two exercises that both are funded by billionaires, both lead to the same kind of conclusions. Event 201 was what, 5 months ago? Of course, one of the things about Event 201, one of the reasons I'm talking to you now is as follows. Event 201 suggests that we're going to have to control the social media. Corporations and government have to work together to control the narrative of what goes out to make sure everyone gets the truth. Whose truth are they putting out? What are they doing? Suddenly we're going to lose our freedom of speech and find ourselves in tyranny. Is that what's happening? My friends, what you need to know is as follows. A lot of channels may get shut down, or a lot of us may be prohibited from posting certain things. There are already anything that touches on the topic that we're talking about on YT gets demonetized automatically. This video is already in that category just because of the topic. I don't even have to check to see. I know the bots have already ruled it, and there's no way that the reviewers will rule otherwise if I appeal. So I did not violate any community standards. Oh well, that is what it is. That said, YouTube is a great platform, except you don't have freedom of speech. So, all that said, now, here's why I'm talking to you about it. The day may come where you're not going to get timely information about what's really going down. Ball it up right now and know that at some point what you get may be coming to you through a soda straw, spoon-fed and heavily filtered by the money funders who love you so much. Again, to use Rexology. Rexese. That's the new name, Rexese. That's his language, right? I love Rex. He's a great guy, Rex Bear. So, all that said, why I'm telling you this is there is other methods that aren't as effective, but before there was ever social media, back in the days of the Soviet Union, a country that also used to really control the narrative that went out to the people. The people there in Moscow and all the Leningrad, all those other great, wonderful cities there in Russia, and there's some nice cities there, and great people in them. I tell you, there's good people anywhere you go in the world, including, China, anywhere, any country. No matter what you think of the country, there's good people there. There's spectacular people there. People with warm hearts in all these countries. Iran, Israel, any of them. Any country, no matter what you think of the country, even the United States, there are good people everywhere. But the governments, their game is control. That's what they are. That's what governments do. They control. And sometimes they get, a little overzealous about it. See my video about how governments are really run, if you want to know what's really going on. That said, when that becomes the filter, when it's the story of the corporations and the governments that are in bed with each other and you're not getting anything else, it's not worth listening to. So what I was going to tell you is what the people in Moscow did. The people in Moscow had their own version of the internet. It was called the sidewalk. It was called Go Walk the Dog. They would go walk the dog. But when they were walking the dog, they were walking and talking. People would meet and talk and chat, person to person, mano a mano, woman to woman, man to man. They would share their information and shake each other's hand. You may not want to do that today with all the stuff going around, my friends, but it's at least a handshaking. But people got out and talked. They shared information. And that's how they really found out what was going on. And the gossip and information shared that way spread pretty fast. Unfortunately, it got refiltered through every person that went through, but that was their only way to do it. So what I'm telling you this is that if all your information sources go down, we may be out here, they just make jerky videos that we put out on topics like this, or shut channels down. If you still want to be a channel, you're going to have to comply with whatever they put out there. I think I still have value to add. I hope I don't get this channel knocked down, because there's still things I can teach you that will be of value, like how to eat wild winter greens, how to grow food. These are vital topics that surely they would allow, I would hope. But it gets back to this control game. When you get back to this food chain reaction game, what it's all about, that and what all these big rich billionaires are doing is they're trying to squeeze all the independent people out of existence, all the small operators. The best way to have an environmentally resilient society is to grow local, buy local. That's what I encourage everyone to do. But if they want to make it globalism for everything, they want to make a big trade. Well, you should see my video about the fragility of society, and you'll know that that's the most fragile thing we could possibly have and do. But that's their dream of their agenda, which ends in the year 2030. Yeah, it's supposed to be for the environment, all of that. The whole thing is supposed to be driven for the environment. It has nothing to do with the environment. Their policies, their plans, what they plan to execute and implement is nothing about helping the environment. They tell you it is. If you want to do that, buy local, grow your own food. Nope, that's not what they got in plan. They want to put everybody, take you off the farm, take you out of the country, whisk you up into a ISO shipping container next to a railroad track. That is their plan. And to feed you fake food. That's all they want you to have. GMO fake food. Chemically treated. Along with everything else they want to force upon. And you would have no will, no choice. They want to take away your freedoms. My friends, if you don't have freedom of speech, my friends, if you don't have the basic rights that we recognize in our Bill of Rights, you have nothing. They can take everything, and they're trying to legislate around the Constitution. They're trying to pass laws. There's all kinds of laws and acts, all kinds of executive orders that say we can take this and take that and violate every single item in the Bill of Rights. My friends, that is wrong. And both parties are party to it. Every branch of the government, executive, judicial, and the legislative branches are all party to that. every party, political party is party to that, except maybe the Libertarian Party. But, they're kind of wishy-washy sometimes. I don't know if that last candidate they ran. I like Ron Paul. So, Rand Paul's a good guy too, but I really like Ron Paul. That said, we're in for a pickle. And their plan is to get all this done in 10 years. That's why they called it what they called it. Come heck or high water, my friends. They want it in 10 years. They want to force this upon us. So the way to get around it is for us to communicate person to person if we have to. Some of us may have to they may shut some of us down completely, or they may put tape on our mouths, but know that we're out there. And I think one of the biggest things we can do collectively is protest through these Marches for Peace, for these prayer sessions. And we may have to select various topics. Well, the time may come that we can't even do that, at least through social media. But you can still exercise it yourself. We should resolve as a group that there would be certain times that we just do this, irrespective of whether it's announced through social media or not. So you can spread that person to person. So, hey, it's time. It's prayer time. It's meditation time. It's peace time. We're going to do some more 2-minute sessions, and we need to do some maybe 10-minute sessions. Some time, quality time, to put the prayer out there, to put the energy out there, to put our light in the universe, to exercise the power of intention, to bend reality. You may have heard my talk about the multiverse and how I think it's really constructed. So I believe we definitely have the ability collectively to pick which channel of reality we go down. I think we have a lot of power. Now, that whole multiverse flowing forward with different timelines may all fit between riverbanks, and maybe the overall outcome is decided, but there's certainly different tracks and channels in that we can play through, and we can pick the one that's more advantageous to us. And I think it falls upon us to do that. No matter what you think will or will not come, we can still pick a road there that is better suited for us, my friends. And that's what I want us to focus on. That's what I want us to do. That's where I want us to go. And what I do here is I'm trying to get everybody prepared that listens to my channel to work together down the road. I still want to do this tribe formation. I hope we got time, but everything is coming fast. Everything is coming real fast. Like I had said earlier, you may not have time to prep now. If you haven't started, run. Get your stuff. Get it now. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. I got links to My Prepper Supply. You need to go there and you need to get stuff while we still have shipping. I mean, if everything's a quarantine, there may not be anybody out there running around shipping. Oh, this is crazy. I heard David Devine and Rex on a session, and David was saying that even all the people in Hubei are locked down, and that Hubei is infected with this virus. China is going to force well people from outside the district to go into the district and work, just to get the factories reopened. The people that live there are locked in their houses, so they're going to force other people to go in and work. Oh my God, it's crazy. Well, I'm hoping to have David on the channel. We passed some texts and we just hadn't closed down on it yet or picked a time. So I don't know if that's going to pan out or not. I know that also Dr. Paul Cottrell, he wanted to do something this weekend, but I had this trip to make today, so I said, hey, maybe Sunday. I've not had a chance to check my email. I don't know what his reply is. I'm sure we'll link something up. He's a really busy guy. He's real popular right now because he's got a lot to say, and a lot of people are interested in his message, and there's a whole lot I like to know what he thinks about certain things, what his findings are. He's done a lot of work on the genetics of this COVID-19. I still want to call it NCOV 2019. So he's done a lot of work, my friends. He's a very active, brilliant young man. And I'm hoping to get him on here real soon. Okay, so there's a lot going on. There's a game being played on us, it seems. Why else would it be that they want to shut down all the information? It don't make sense. If there's a sickness going around and there's people just telling you to wash your hands and be careful, which is basically what I'm doing. I'm basically saying have good hygiene. I basically come on here and say, do those kind of things. Have a good immunity system. Have good hygiene. Eat onions and garlic and lots of turmeric. Things like that. To eat honey, to use herbs that are antiviral as much as possible. It's a big difference between bacterial and viral infections. This is a viral infection. Some things are good for both. And so how you use them depends on what they are. Like oil of oregano, well, that's an oil. So you can't, it very much governs how you can use it because it is an oil, but it is antiviral. So is honey. But you can't stuff honey in a handkerchief and breathe through it. It's too thick. So yeah, I'm hearing lavender. I've heard stories about thieves' oil. I don't know yet. I'll have to look into that stuff some more. I don't know too much about the thieves' oil side of it yet. So these things will take a little time to research it. Silver is an antiviral. It's been used for antibacterial and antiviral agents. A lot of people have used it in various means. And somebody's playing Frogger in front of me. See the Frogger? I can hear the music now for Frogger game, right? So I'm going to pull over here in a little bit and check my messages and see what you guys are saying. Think about it. Just think about it. You've got to have your immune system up. You've got to have good hygiene. Wear protective gear where you can. I'm taking napkins with me for door handles. You may want to wear polyethylene gloves. You may want to have your face mask, but you cover your eyes. Do cover your eyes. Always remember that. Ears. Don't be putting your fingers. The best reason for a mask might be just to keep your finger out of your face. So yeah, I'm going to pull over here in a minute. I just got to find a spot. There's a gas station up here I'm pretty aware of. I'll pull over in just a moment. Yep, I see it right now. $2 a gallon gas. We hadn't filled up down the road a little ways. I'm just going to pull over here and read the messages. Last time I pulled over at a gas station, I lost signal, but I'm in the city of Gadsden right now. The last time I did a live session, somebody from Gadsden was in the live session. So I don't know if anybody's from Gadsden here today. In a minute, I will look and see what's scrolling on my screen. I don't need any gas right now, so I'm just going to pull in here somewhere. Like right here. I guess you pull on the other side there, so I don't block these pumps. Give me a second. Get positioned. I just want to pull over here for a little bit and see what you guys are saying. Just for a few minutes, and then I'm about to run in here. All right. Let's see what's going on here, my friends. All right, Psalms 91, 294 in Florida, 249. 249 what, Robert? 249 in Florida, 249 cases? Or what are you talking about here? Federal government is enemy of the people, says Wildman. There's a lot of people would not argue with that, my friend. What did I say about governments? Governments serve themselves. That's what they serve. Or maybe you want a platter. Gas, you say, huh? Oh, that's the price of gas. $2 here, my friend. Yeah. So, price of gas. Facebook is the devil. Let me stand outside. Let me get outside here. Here's scenic city of Gadsden. Not too scenic, but what can I say? There's a Goodyear plant right up that way. There's a Goodyear plant right up. You can see a smokestack right there. There's a Goodyear. See if I can turn the screen around here. No, I don't want to mess with it. Might knock this video out. Riverside Hospital. My mother spent a little bit of time there when she had cancer. That's not where she passed away at, but she did spend some time there. So this is a city I'm familiar with. I've had a lot of family in this area. My oldest brother used to work at Goodyear. I don't know if you can, there's a smokestack. You see some red lights on it. That's the Goodyear plant. So, all right, what do we got to say here? Thieves oil contains antiseptic and antibiotic. Antibiotic, my friends, ain't going to cut it. Antibiotic kills bacteria. You got to have antiviral. If it's antiviral, it'll work. I don't know. I've got to check that out. There's a lot of things that are antibiotic. Antibiotic is good, but you need an antiviral for what we're talking about here. Thieves oil is repelling insects. Okay, well that's good. That's good. But you still need an antiviral. Yeah, antibiotic won't do poop. Well, it will for bacteria. The plague was a bacteria, my friends, bubonic plague, as far as I know, but I think it was. There's other things out there, though, that are viral, like the hantavirus, right? So, let's see what else is on here. I've read that this particular virus is weaponized, says Holy Noodle. Well, they're not alone in that assumption. I hope we can find out what Dr. Paul Cottrell has to say about that. I believe he's got some research that points in a particular direction. I'll leave that to him to tell us. David, it's a toroidal shape. Okay, Shannon, what's a toroidal shape? Number 89, octa. No, ND, okay. What is that? Let's see, effects of the nervous system. Does the virus make you susceptible to bacterial infection secondary? Oh yeah, it can. It can. That's what HIV does, by the way. It makes you susceptible to all kind of stuff. God's help. Hey, well, guys, Mother Nature's calling me. I'm going to have to run in this store. Yeah, Dr. Paul Cottrell. So, guys, I hope that just stay tuned to my channel. I'm hoping to have a lot more videos to cover this, as long as this platform allows it. But also, will cover other topics. And as you know, I have a wide range of topics I cover. Please go back and look at the one I just did with on the power grid, where I had the Uncle Sam pointing with the power towers behind him. That is one you need to watch, where you can take action to directly help our power grid, to help get it secured and hardened. I had an interview with Command Sergeant Major Mike Mabey. He's a spectacular individual. Please go check out that video and share it widely. And stay tuned for the 20th of February at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also on the 22nd, we're going to be doing more shows, more stuff, and we're going to pray. We're going to try to move this world. We're going to try to bend reality. We can do that. We're going to bend reality, my friends. We're going to bend it with our minds. We're going to mentally bend reality with prayer and the goodwill of the greater creator. So, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to call it an end of the program. Please press the like buttons. We've got 234 here, only 118 likes. Come on, guys, show me some love. So somebody says, Wild Man agreed, says Shannon. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Y'all take care. Have a great night. Bye.